Oh. Sorry about that. Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Aurora Yuan and I'm a junior at Princeton High School in Princeton, New Jersey. Before I say anything and start my presentation, I just want to give a big shout out to my partner and friend, Alice, back home in Jersey, probably sleeping like usual. Without her, I mean, I couldn't have made it on this stage where I am today, so I'm forever grateful for her to have as a friend. And by doing PTC together, we've grown so much and we've become a lot closer. Bringing our perspectives together and our different ideas has been amazing, and it's been a time of my life. No? Yes. Oh.
You were supposed to show.
Oh.
You got it.
Oh, yes. Okay, so to begin, a little background about myself. So my parents moved here in 1990. They immigrated from Shanghai, China. And when they moved here, my family is pretty traditional, a traditional Chinese household. So that passed on from my grandparents to my parents, to me. I'm not that traditional. I never grew up in nature like a lot of other people I know who are into environmentalism. I really didn't have that experience in nature. I didn't really eat organic. I wasn't really living sustainably. I have to admit beforehand. And the word activism to me was never really a thing. I hardly ever heard it. For me, in my household, it was kind of a straight path for me. So it would be graduate high school, top of your class, go to an Ivy League prestigious school, go to become a doctor, a computer scientist, get married, have a family, die, pass it on to the next generation, like I was saying, kind of. That was my life planned out for me, but I didn't really find comfort in that. So I really thought, so in my sophomore year, I always never really found comfort in that idea. So in my sophomore year, I was feeling pretty hopeless. I was feeling pretty lonely in school. I didn't really know what I was doing. I knew I was interested in health, and I knew I was interested specifically in epidemiology. But I didn't really find that to be my one true passion or my one true calling. So I was still looking for that. And then by chance, my friend happened to invite me to an environmental symposium in Princeton University. And I went not because I was interested, but because I wanted community service hours because it's a school requirement. So I went to that symposium and it completely changed my life. I mean, completely. There was a speaker at the symposium. His name is Donovan. He's amazing. He started a whole organization mobilizing over 100 students in the state of New Jersey to try to pass policy. And he comes from such a similar background to me. He's actually kind of family friends with me. I just found out a couple days ago. So seeing him do that kind of work with a similar background to me and with a similar kind of problems and a kind of family structure that you didn't really want to follow was super, super inspiring to me. And that mobilized me, and I never looked back from there. So sorry. I knew that environmentalism was the path for me after that. So Alice and I involved ourselves with climate strikes. We went to the Yuan for the Youth Climate Summit. We also we planned climate strikes as well. We involved ourselves with New Jersey Student Climate Advocates, which is a group that Jonathan started. So there was a whole new world of possibilities for me, and I really wanted to explore that. Okay, so our transformation through PGC. So that was a huge one. I mean, I jumped into so many things that I would never, ever, ever have been into if it wasn't for PGC. Truly, I never would have worn my sweater inside out for a day. I got a lot of weird stares. It was fine. From things like banning glyphosate on campus, with the infographic, to making flossing foods, it inspired Ashley to make the avocado pasta, to Alice boldly standing outside and protesting the fact that healthcare is not a right for all in America, to gardening, which I'll talk about more later. Okay, so who are we after PTC? We changed from a conventional to a conscious lifestyle. We want to pursue a career in not only health, but also environmental studies now. We want to take serious action against climate change, and most importantly, we want to inspire others to embark on this transition and journey as well, so that people don't have to face the fact, like I did, when I was younger, I didn't know what to do because I was never exposed to environmentalism and that subject. I want that there to be a community and there to be a place for people to be able to pursue that passion and be able to expose to it. So that's where my climate action project comes in. So the problem is in our school, there's a whole bunch of environmental groups, Green Team, Environmental Club, countless. But there's no collaboration, there's no communication, no connection between these groups, there's no transparency. So our solution is an environmental coalition. So, our environmental coalition is that we want to provide the vessel for people to come together, communicate with each other, and really make tangible change as a whole. We want to involve people from all over the community, including Sustainable Princeton, which is a community organization. We want to involve people like the Green Team, which already exists in our community. We want to include students, teachers, staff, and administration. Everyone in our community to come together and really show that force in our community and be that change. So to do this, we want to have, logistically, monthly meetings. I said Monday, I don't know why, I just chose a date. Monthly meetings to share information to keep things going and to keep the momentum going. Resources, tools that already exist for people to really stay informed and engaged throughout the process. And then the goal is to have, the environmental coalition built and have this group of people together and working as a whole. These community members, these parents, these staff, these students together, and that's the goal for May 1st, 2020. And then, today I talked with my my mentor, Eden, who's amazing by the way, oh my god. So we talked a little bit about obstacles, which I thought was important to bring up here actually. First of all, we talked about administration. So we were worried that the administration wasn't going to be supportive because they tend to not be supportive of a lot of stuff. It's okay though. So our solution to that was that I already had my guidance counselor who was supportive of this. I told her a project being challenged. She was like, oh my god, that's amazing. When you come back, the first thing you do is come to my office tomorrow morning and go talk to me about it. Show me the pictures. So he's super supportive, as well as a history teacher at our school who's really into this kind of stuff and has actually been wanting to start this for a long time. They are both willing to talk on behalf of me and Alice to try and start this at our school. And then also keeping people involved is a challenge. So that's where our projects come in. So these are projects: food, waste, and energy. First, food. I really want to delve into that a little bit. So there's this teacher at my school named Ms. Jackaloo. I just want to give a shout out to her. She is incredible. I have never met someone so amazing in my life. Except for Jonathan. She runs our school garden. I didn't even know about it until maybe 2 weeks ago during the Day 8 Soil Challenge. She runs our school garden. She has all these regenerative organic practices I never even knew about. Alice and I never knew about it. So we want to do what we can to expand that in our community and to expand that ability to grow food and then also provide food for our school. Our second project is waste. So I talked about this with Eden as well. So there's this chemical in wrappings like muffins and cookies called PFAS, which harms a lot, which is very detrimental to health. It causes cancer. It could cause cancer. It's a carcinogenic. It could cause all different kinds of immune diseases. It's really horrible. And Alice and I believe that students in our school have a right to know what they are ingesting and what they are putting into their bodies. So therefore, want to ban that. Third one is energy. So we already have an energy audit at school. So and our main problem is our heating and electricity and also our lighting. So we want safer and we also want more efficient alternatives to energy in our school. That's something that we're definitely going to talk to our administration more about and see how we can implement that feasibly in our school. Oh, shoot, sorry. Yes. And then this all ties back to my beginning and why I went on this journey, why I chose to diverge from that straight line path to do something else with my life. So this environmental coalition is the type of environment I wish that I had when I was starting out on my journey, when I was a sophomore in high school, when I didn't know what was going on, when I was feeling hopeless and I was feeling lonely and I was suffering, I just didn't know. I wish that I had this kind of support in this community, and that's what I want to build for the future of my school. And that's what's really important to Alice and I to have for our school and our community. So I want people to have the ability to have exposure and to have opportunity to environmentalism. And if we can do that, that would mean the world to us.